Hello, everybody. It's Miss Mink. Happy Wednesday. Today, we are going to take a look at subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So, yesterday we looked at adding fractions. Today, it's subtracting. So, same steps as yesterday. First thing we need to do is find a common denominator if your denominators are different. Then rewrite to solve your problem and then simplify if needed. So, we're going to take a look at our first problem. We have 7/8 minus 3/4. So I notice that my denominators are different. So I'm going to take a look at is looking at to see if I can find my least common denominator. So some of you might right away be able to look at it and be like, I could do something to that 4 to make it 8. If you're not quite sure what you could do is you can count by 4s and 8s to find a common denominator. So I'm going to count by 8s first. 8 plus another 8 is 16, plus another 8 is 24. I already know 4 is a multiple of 24, so I'm going to stop there. And now I'm going to count by 4s. So I have 4 plus another 4 is 8. I found a match. So as soon as you find a match, you're done. So 8s are our match, okay? So I can do something to this 4 to get 8. So how many groups of 4 do we have? We have 1, 2. So I'm going to multiply it by 2 for my denominator and 2 for my numerator. I don't need to change my 8 here because it already matches what we're changing our denominator into. So I'm going to rewrite my problem as 7/8 minus 3 times 2 was 6, and 4 times 2 is 8. So now what I can do is I can subtract them. 7 minus 6 is 1. And remember, we don't subtract our denominators because those stay the same. Those are telling us how many eighths we have. So we get 1/8 as our final answer. Okay? Now, take a look at our next one, which we have 4/5 minus 2/4. Okay? And right away, I notice I have different denominators, so I need to find a common denominator. Sorry, I have a little person sitting in my room with me right now. Here, I'll show you a sneak peek of the cute little girl. All right, so we are going to take a look at finding our common denominator. Okay, so I noticed that there's nothing I can do to this 5 to get 4 and nothing I can do to this 4 to get 5. So that's when you can multiply by the opposite denominator. Okay, or to show you here, you can find your least common denominator. I'm going to count by 5s and 4s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to stop there. And now I'm going to count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Okay? So here we have a match of 20s for our common denominator. So then when you think about how many groups of 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 5 and 2 times 5, because that's going to give me my denominator of 20. And I'm going to multiply my 5s by 1, 2, 3, 4, by 4. Okay? And so now you can see that we did multiply the opposite denominators by each other. So now I'm going to rewrite my problem to solve it. So I have 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. Minus 2 times 5 is 10. And 4 times 5 is 20. So now when I subtract the fractions, just like adding. So you subtract the numerators. 16 minus 10 gives me 6. And then 20 stays our denominator. But now what we always need to think about is, can I simplify? Okay? And so you look at your problem and think about, I know by looking at these, I have even numbers. Because remember, even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So then I know right away I can divide by 2. Okay? So I'm going to divide my 6 by 2 and my 20 by 2 and see what we get. 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. 20 divided by 2 gives me 10. And then the last thing to do is check to see if you can simplify it even further. So the only option I can divide here is by 3. So I know 3 divided by 3 is 1. But 10 divided by 3 is not going to give me a whole number. It's going to give me a whole number with a decimal too. So we want to keep it as 3/10. That is simplified in lowest terms. All right, so 3/10 it is. So I hope you have an amazing Wednesday. It's hump day, hump day. We're almost over the hump of the week. And hope you're having a great day. It's supposed to be a beautiful sunny day. So get out and enjoy it. Deuces.